All around the country, teachers aren't being paid as much as they should be, and in Northern Virginia, the cost of living contrasts a teacher's salary by far. And many hold the state and county budgets accountable for this issue. Here with us today to help us further explore this issue is the highly accredited hyebin.
It's my honor to be here with you.
So, what is the budget like in Virginia?
Well, to give a brief summary, 36% goes to the healthcare, 24% goes to the education, 5% goes to the welfare, and 11% goes to the pensions, and roughly 4% goes to the other spending and their other spending as well, like 11% goes to the transportation and etc.
And what exactly is the shortfall here?
So if you look at the scatter plot, Virginia is pretty high up there. Well, there are several other states that's higher than Virginia, but it's still high up there and shows how it's high in death compared to the GDP for 2016. I mean, it's kind of in the medium range, but if you look at the federal deficit and from 2017, the death increased a lot from 2008 to 2010. However, you can see how it decreased from 2010 and to 2014. But the new trend is the death is actually increasing. The federal deficit is actually increasing. As you see from 2015 to 2017, it's slowly increasing. So we are speculating that over the years, the federal deficit will increase, as shown in the graph.
Here are the two graphs hyebin was talking about. As you can see, this one is the scatter plot, and this one is the bar graph. In recent years, there has been a budget deficit in Virginia, which has led to governments cutting down spending. How can this become a problem for Virginia?
Well, it is okay for government to cut down budgets when in case of budget deficit. However, this has become a problem as government chose to cut down education budget, which has resulted in loss of extracurricular activities in some parts of the state, and possible wage cut of the teachers and staff. The possibility of more automatic spending cuts from Congress calls for a new round of military base closures, tax restructuring, that increases the deficit and drives up the interest rates.
I believe sequestration is the system of automatic budget cuts enacted by Congress in 2013 when it couldn't reach a budget deal. Do you think this will happen in Virginia in the next few years?
Indeed. The report suggests that the state's new governor can help improve some of these situations by decreasing regulation for small business, fostering regional cooperation, improving the state's education system, and investing in research and development. But only one thing amounts to a silver bullet. And in the report said that in the next year or two, the only undisputed way to supercharge the Virginia economy is for the federal government to end budget sequestration.
How are students learning about budget deficit?
Indeed, I agree that it's very important for students to be aware of what budget deficit is and how governments are reacting to it. In AP Comparative Government, students learn and compare 6 different countries and their government systems. They also compare their economic systems and definitely have talked about budget deficit. For example, in UK, government have cut down budgets for healthcare and college tuitions, which have resulted in riots. This is similar in US as well, where a few protests have resulted due to government cutting down on wages of teachers in West Virginia.
Thank you for taking your time to come talk with us today, hyebin.
It was my pleasure to have this opportunity.
Well, that still leaves us with the question of how do we solve these issues? Well, in 2008, Virginia government changed the equation which determined how much money a school district receives, and that shortchanged the Virginia school system of $800 million each year since 2008. That law was passed in a time of recession to help the government save money, but since then we've overcome that recession, but the school systems still aren't getting that money. Some suggest that we return that money to the school systems to help fund teachers and academic activities and extracurricular activities. Some suggest we take money from other parts of the budget, such as transportation, and some even suggest charter schools to help promote competition